You know, I was listening to some Oliver Anthony this morning, and it's hard to come across some artists nowadays who are soulful, passionate, and raw, real, and down to earth and all. It used to be back in the olden days that music was centered around talent, effort, passion, creativity, soul, drive, things of the like. Nowadays, with some notable exceptions, a lot of music just sounds like crap. Bland, sterile, noise, just there, stale, dull. And is rock and roll even a thing anymore? I mean, I'm aware that the Rolling Stones are going to be putting out a new album this summer. But as much as I like rock music, that genre has lost commercial viability, meaning that it's not very prosperous and promising. And I think that comes down to the fact that we're in the digital age and there are, certain music practices going on. With how advanced AI is getting, AI has gotten to where it can mimic the outpouring of human creativity. But back to Oliver, he says your dollar ain't shit and it's tax no win. Yeah. But I was thinking that people talk about that you can vote with your dollar. Well, in the sense I'm talking about, like, if we put forth our resources, to improve the quality of life for ourselves, our families, and communities in ways that the system, which we cannot change, can't fulfill, then we'd be better off. And it seems like the American dream is under the weather nowadays. And Oliver's music is very resonant with the people today, and even back when Richmond, North of Richmond came out. Because people are starving for something real. And I will talk about politics for a moment. Politics, according to some, is the adult version of Santa Claus. I like that. Or it's like thinking that a hooker has feelings for you. And as much as I respect Trump, and although I'm aware of the fact that he's done some good, I don't really appreciate the eccentric and grandiose side of him. I mean, the swamp ain't drained, as they say. But like I said, we can't really change the system. We can just we got to operate within it. But get creative and innovative and try to find ways to bring out all the best in us as individuals and a collective. But that cycle about how hard times create strong men who go on to create good times, which goes on to produce weak men that will create hard times. It seems like the pause button has been hit on the hard times part. But with technology, infrastructure, and hierarchy becoming so advanced, it's no wonder why. Therefore, music can be like medicine. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence how most of my musical tastes lie before the year 2015 or so. But yeah, I got a wide range of taste of music, so country, like country is like give or take second place. As I get older, I start to respect certain ideals. things like God and country. I mean, I'm predominantly a rock guy. I remember, like being a little kid, listening to Linkin Park, for example. It sounded edgy and cool, but then going into adulthood and accumulating some life experience, it's like, wow, some of this content sounds like me and some things that I've been through, and I can relate to these things. But that's more so with country as well. Um, oh, I said a good bit there. But check out the Radio WV YouTube channel. They got some Oliver songs, and they got all these other acts too. It's more, like country and bluegrass and stuff like that. But the music industry that we got right now, it's just not good. It's very lacking. It might sound like a cliche when I say that love is the key ingredient. I mean, it's a key ingredient in art and in cooking and whatever else. But man, authenticity, and it's like authenticity is not something that is rewarded nowadays. Like obedience and conformity are. Like even in schools, like you're taught what to think, not how to think. And there were some things that you were taught that were either irrelevant or just plain wrong. Like the Civil War was actually over tariffs and industrial economical overreach into the lives of ordinary citizens, and especially the Southerners. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but I will say something else too. Like just because times are tough, it's not just because the American dream is under the weather is no excuse for people to remain at their worst and put on a victim mentality. So we got to like rise to the occasion and find the strength, get innovative, creative, and vote with the dollar and all that kind of stuff. And bring out all the best in ourselves and become real and authentic. But even the music industry doesn't seem to be rewarding of authenticity. Like a lot of acts, they seem to have like the same four producers. And just there's lots of uniqueness. It's just very kind of tricky to describe, but it's frustrating. I even thought about putting out my own music. That's just something that hasn't really come out to fruition yet. I mean, I've written lyrics in the past and poetry, and I think that my skills are now more refined because I've lived a little bit more and accumulated some life experiences compared to when I was a teenager. Anything's possible. Well, I think I said a good bit. I will be honest with you. I've made many attempts at making this video, and I think that I finally got it. But yeah, this is another installment of the Raw Side of Rowdy Vlog. Yeah. All right, I'll turn you loose now. Have a good one.